And I was wrong. That doesn't do it. I forgot to talk about the resting point. And the resting point is where you are right now. You're just sitting there and your lungs are barely moving. It takes very, very little air to stay alive. And so when the body is at rest, that's where your lungs are. When you breathe in, everything expands, and when you relax, the body comes back to the resting point. Now you can blow past the resting point, and it becomes more and more difficult. The lower you, farther down you go, the more difficult it is. And so if you push, the throat starts to tighten and your stomach's tight. It's very uncomfortable. It's also very tiring and very inefficient. Whereas when you take a large breath and relax, the air is coming out. So all the work is done breathing in and not very much on the blowing out. Below the resting point, you work harder and harder and harder. It's like driving your car around and stepping on the parking brake. And you wonder why your engine is running so hard and you're only getting 2 miles a gallon. Take off the parking brake and it's back to where it should be. Now, let me see what else did I forget to talk about. So there's the resting point. So you've taken this great big breath to the 90%. And yes, trumpet players should take just as big a breath as tuba players. So you go to 90%. And then when you approach the resting point, you fill up again. Exactly when depends on the music. Sometimes you have to breathe a little before the stretch point, sometimes a little bit past. It doesn't hurt to go a little bit past once in a while. It's when you go way to the bottom that you have difficulties. Uh, and then the other thing is the person with a great big lung capacity, 7 liters or more, they say, well, I'll just take a 3-liter lung breath. And they are going to be incredibly inefficient because they're barely going above the resting point. So most of their playing is going to be below the resting point. So they're going to be very tense and very inefficient. And the person who only has 3 liters, who uses their full lung capacity, will completely outplay them. So if you are blessed with an enormous lung capacity, you need to breathe in enormously full. Take advantage of your lung capacity. And that's why that 3 breaths is so important. One other thing is that when we sleep, we kind of forget how much lung capacity we have. So the first thing you should do every day before you even buzz the mouthpiece is start getting dizzy. Take 3 big breaths, get a little crazy, and that reminds you of how much air that you have to work with. All right, we're done.